I was submitting. Amir Timur conquered 42 countries in his life, also looted immense wealth. Timur's biographers write that he used to load his wealth on horses and carts, and hundreds of carts and horses reached Samarkand in a row, and this a campaign was rich. He was also a famous conqueror of the world. He spent 50 years of his life playing with swords. He was also counted among the few rare people in the world who could work with both his hands at the same time. He used to pick up a sword in one hand and an axe in the other hand and used both hands to cut off people's heads. And he could write with both his left hands, and he had an amazing memory. He never forgot what he heard and read once. All these successes, all these achievements were lost in dust. His endless wealth and his 42 conquered countries all became the bread of the earth. But one thing about Timur survived the hands of time, and that was his handwritten book, his autobiography, I Am Timer. Amir Timur probably wrote this book in Persian language. It is an incomplete book that was finished at the time of Timur's death in 1405 and was first published in Britain in 1783 in the form of a manuscript, in the form of a pen copy, and in 40 languages after that. It was translated and has been published and read continuously for 229 years. This is basically the greatness of the book. Knowledge and the book do not decay. The empires of people like Timur in the world end, but the pages left by their hands are not lost. They remain in the world as long as the thirst of readers remains. The only difference between an educated person and an uneducated person is the book. The writings of people like Amir Timur divide the world between the illiterate and the literate, and nature keeps these books alive to maintain this distinction. If you analyze the societies, you will find peace, tranquility, quality of life, tolerance, happiness, and spiritual happiness in all societies where books are widely read, as opposed to countries where books are not printed, where libraries are missing. There is also spiritual stress. There is grief and anger, lack of tolerance, restlessness and unrest, and people there are also unhappy, despite having all the blessings of life. Look around you. You will find thousands of people on your right and left who are blessed by Allah Ta'ala. They are also rich, honorable, influential, healthy, and powerful, but in spite of that, there is no color in their life. You will always find them peevish and complaining. The main reason for this is distance from books. You can get everything in life, but you cannot enjoy these things without books. Books add juice, fun, and flavor to your achievements. If books were not bigger than war achievements, power, and wealth, then the famous warriors, conquerors, kings, and rich people of the world would never have written or had books written. From Alexander the Great to Bill Gates, take out the profiles of successful people around the world. You will see every great and successful person leaving a book in the world. This book is also a record of his achievements and analysis of his failures, as well as the real reality of life. And until we study these books, we never reach the real dimensions of life, success, and failure. Studying is a habit, and this habit has to be regularized like any other habit. Until you make books a part of your daily activities, you bring it into the discipline of life. Until that time, books do not become your habit. Europeans accustom children to books before they enter school. They take children to bookstores, buy them small books. They take them to the library and let them get books from there. It also makes them in the habit of carrying a book with them while leaving home. If you ever go to Europe, America, or any other developed country, you will see people sitting and reading in trains, buses, bus stops, and parks. You will see a newspaper or a book in each person's hand, and wherever he finds a place, he will sit down, open the book or newspaper, and start reading. In Europe and America, most books have an initial print run of 1 million copies and later run into the millions. The population of America is 38 million, but there are books that have been published in the number of 40 million. Each of us should buy 3 or 4 books a month who have read and write up to primary level or who have learned letters and numbers, can read data. English lovers should buy Urdu as well as English books because Europe and America are far ahead of us in knowledge. We should also make our children used to books. We should buy books for young children and ask them about books from time to time. Just like we buy household goods every week or every month, we should buy books. One should also go to the shops and buy books for all the members of the house from there. It is true that, like other necessities, books are also getting expensive, but despite being expensive, they are still cheaper than clothes, shoes, and fried meat. If you buy a shoe from the market, only you can use it. Your son or wife cannot wear your shoe. Similarly, you cannot come out wearing your wife's shoe, but you can use the book you bought. Begum and children can also read. Your wardrobe of clothes and shoes will disappear. Your clothes, shoes, and food will become old, but books will not be stale and old throughout your life. May they accompany you throughout life. Will we also make toilets and kitchens in homes and offices? We must make a study or a small library with them. Even if there is no room for it in our house, we can make a couple of shelves of books near a window in the house. We can put a table in a bright corner of the house, and we can keep a chair and declare it our study. We can carry Tasbih handbook. While leaving home, Tasbih will establish our connection with Allah while we are walking, shopping, working at office and shop. Keep reciting Tasbih while doing it and open the book as soon as you get a chance to sit. This will also save our time, and we will be safe from useless actions and meaningless conversations. Question is also a way to gain knowledge. 4,000 questions arise in our mind every day. If we keep a small diary in our pocket and write each question in this diary, and as soon as we get free time, we will consult books, internet, and scholars. By finding the answer to these questions, our knowledge base can increase. If we sit among educated people for a few hours a week, our knowledge will also increase. But these educated people are from a particular class. They should be scientists, historians, writers, religious scholars, bureaucrats, and politicians too, so that you can have all kinds of knowledge. One's thinking will become limited, and limited thinking is more dangerous than ignorance. You should also watch TV for a short time every day and have a quality movie in a week. Read newspaper daily and also use internet, as these are also great source of knowledge. Remember, you have only 2 options. Live like an uneducated animal who eats, drinks, and begets and leaves the world, or live like an educated person who lives by eating, drinking, and begetting. It also finds purpose, which makes this process of eating, drinking, and begetting meaningful and wonderful, and this process is not possible without books. Without books, life is like a sour mango, which contains everything. There is but no taste.